A very warm good morning, all of you. So yesterday we were discussing about the different methods of voltage stability and voltage control, and reactive power imbalance balancing of the things. So today I am going to continue the same thing with the tap changing transformers. So okay, so we are using the transformers in order to maintain or in order to stabilize the voltages. So here are the one more kind of a method, that is tap changing transformers. So here the tap changing transformers are of two types. One is with load and another is without load. So we are actually placing the tap changers at the HV terminal. Why we are placing at the HV terminal? Because at the HV terminal the current will be low. So as we know that current is inversely proportional to the voltage. So whenever current is more, the voltage will be less. So at the same time, so whenever the voltage is more, current will be less. So in the high voltage terminals, the current will be less. So that's why we are placing tappers on the HV winding. So that's the main thing why we are choosing HV winding for placing that tappers. And also HV winding is wounded outside the LV winding. So because of this main characteristic, that is in the HV winding, the windings are placed at the outside of the LV winding when compared to LV winding. So that's why it is easy to tap. So that's why we are going for HV side of tapping. And so the connections are of two types. One is with considering the load and without considering the load. So this tapping at HV winding is for both the transformer, it is same. The tappings will be at HV winding only for on-load tap changers and also off-load tap changers. So we can use the on-load tap changing transformers where the tap can be changed on-load. So on-load tap changing means we are changing the tappers with considering the load. The load will be there at the LV winding. Okay. So here the position, the position is set at maximum voltage, and the selector switches select the tap position on the transformer winding. So normally the voltage will be kept at maximum, and each selector switches, as I will explain. So what are the different kind of switches are there? So the selector switches. So these are our selector switches, S1 and S2. So these are the selector switches. So based upon the maximum voltage, we are keeping the voltage at the maximum in HV winding. So here the selector switches will be selected by the physical tap position, by physically by the physical tap position on the transformer winding, and these are not used to make or break off any load current. So breaking or making of load current will be done by the circuit breakers. So that work will be done by other switches, but these switches, the selector switches, only select the tappings of the winding. So that is the physical. That is by physical nature. And here reactor are. So the reactors are there. So reactors, vacuum switches, and the center tapped reactors. So these are the center tapped reactors. So both sides we are placing the center tapped reactors. And VS is our vacuum switch. So what is meant by vacuum switch, that we will discuss. So the TS1 and TS2. So these are our TS1 and TS2. So these are our transfer switches. In order to transfer the current into the selector points. So that's why we are using transfer switches. And here the reactors, the center tapped reactors are using. So these are at this tapped at the center, and it's used to increase the impedance. So why we are using the reactors here? Because the reactors are used to increase the impedance of the selector circuit. We have to increase the impedance of the circuit. So for that purpose, we are using reactors. So, and this also limit the amount of circulating current. So the main purpose of reactors are here to increase the impedance and also decrease the amount of circulating current that is following, or that is circulating through the branches, circulating through the different branches. So the load current, here we need to consider the load current, and this load current should be interrupted during a tap changing only. So at that time what happens, if you are placing a tap from position 1 to position 2, at that time you can witness some voltage differences. So that voltage difference we can witness at the time of changing the position of some taps. So here we are using different tap selection switches and reactors. So vacuum switch, what is the necessity of vacuum switch here? So vacuum switch acts like a circuit breaker. So previously I have told that the selector switches are used for they are not used for breaking or making of any switches. They are only to contact different position in the HV winding. But here the vacuum switches will be acts like a circuit breaker. So these vacuum switches will be used for making or breaking of any switches or any circuit. Okay. So during tap changing, so everything will be done during the tap changing only. So now tap changing use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ one positioning in one position ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there at that time you can witness some high spikes or some low spikes. So in order to protect our circuit, circuit means our transformer. Okay. So in order to protect our transformer, we are using vacuum switches. So these vacuum switches will be acts like our circuit breakers. So which just like a fuse, which breaks or makes any contacts. So in the fuses, it only breaks, not makes, but this circuit breaker can make and break. So that's the thing. Okay. So the next is what happens, the procedure. So how actually the tap position should be changed. So that is the sequence of operation to change the tap. Okay. First step. What is the first step? Load current is equally divided into two halves of the reactor, resulting in a zero resultant flux. So here we are having two reactors. So this is reactor 1 and this is reactor 2. So in these two reactors, the load current that is actually flowing should be equally divided. So that should be equally divided into two areas. Okay. So equally divided. So that is the first step in order to change the steps we are following at the time of changing of the taps. The current that is flowing through the load winding should be equally halved through the reactors. So this results in zero resultant flux. So equally divided agadrinda balance agada. So if you are going to balance the current, at that time the resultant flux will be zero. So this is the first step. Next step, to change tap TS1. So TS1 and TS2 are our transfer switches. So here, if you are interested to change the tap position from one position to another position, so at that time TS1 transfer switch is opened so that total current flows through one half of the reactor. So the transfer switch is opened so that the total current flows through one half of the reactor. So some amount of current will be flowing into the reactor normally. So if you are going to change the position, at that time you have to open the TS1 switch. You have to open the transfer switch 1. So at that time the current that is flowing through the reactor should be one half of that. One half of that current that is flowing from the TS1. 1.5 times, one half of the current that is flowing through the reactor. So this is our transfer switch 1 and this is our transfer switch 2. So at the time of changing the position from S1 to S2, for example, so at that time the TS1 should be opened. And the current that is flowing in the reactor should be one half of that current that is flowing through the TS1. So our time al matra ad measure ಮಾಡಿರಬೇಕು current. So ನೀವು one half of the current that flow ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀವು position change ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು. That's the thing. Next, selector switch S1 moves to next tap 2 and TS1 is closed. So here, so if that is satisfied, So if that is satisfied, then the next step, selector switch S1. So next ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರೋ ಆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ. So S1 to S2. So selector switch S1 to S2, it is tapped. So at that time TS1 should be closed. Previously it was open before tapping. So now we have to close the TS1 and move the position of switch 1, move the selector or switch, that is from S1 to 2. So one position to second position. So at that time you can witness the voltage difference between S1 and S2. So because of the difference in voltages between S1 and S2, a circulating current. So normally what happens here, a circulating current flows in the reactor and that will be imposed on the load current. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ voltage difference create ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So the voltage difference will be created between the switches. So just like your capacitor. So what is the principle of making of a capacitor? So two conductors will be there, between that a charges will be passes circulating. So if you consider this one as your one conductor and this is on your conductor, charges will be made to flow between this conductor and to this conductor in a closed vacuum. So that is nothing but our capacitor. So similarly here also a voltage difference will be takes place between S1 and S2. Voltage difference between that we can witness between S1 and S2. And here because of the voltage difference, so the current will be flow. So normally current will be flow through any circuit only when you can witness some potential difference, some position 1 to position 2. So starting to end, the circuit starting with the circuit end alli potential difference or you can say voltage difference idag matra current easily flow agutte. So here also we can witness the voltage difference between S1 and S2. Because of that current will be flown or circulated through the circuit. So that will be imposed on the load circuit. That will be imposed on the load current. So now the position is shifted. Now position is changed from position 1 to position 2. Then next step. So what is next step? TS2 now opens and S2 moves on the next tap 2. And TS2 closes, operation is completed. So now we are changing the position from S1 to S2. S1 to S2. That is next step, next tap. So this is now TS1 is over. So now comes for TS2. So TS1 now close ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ position change ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ. So here TS2 should be opens and S2 moves onto the tap 2. So ಏನದು meaning S1 move ಆಯ್ತು, ಈಗ TS2 opens ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So always remember, before you are going to tap, you have to open the transfer switches. So you have to open the transfer switches because we need to limit the current. We have to limit the flowing of current into the positions. You on load, you transfer switch on ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ position change ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ at that time we can witness huge amount of lightning or sparks. So that's why apply the transfer switches, change the position, close the transfer switches. So similarly here also shift the S2 from position 1 to position 2. Before that TS2 should be open, change the position from S2 to S2 and close the TS2. So like this the operation takes place in tap changing transformers. So this is the concept of tap changing. So how it is helpful in order to balance the voltage. So that we will see now. So here we are having 6 switches operation. So we need here 6 switch operations for one change in tap position. So you have observed here 6 steps. Now 6 switches na apply ಮಾಡಿ. S1 is one kind of switch, TS1 is one kind of switch, vacuum switch is a one switch. So this is for change the position from 1 to 2. Similarly here also VS1, VS2, TS2, S2. from 1 to, so 6 switches. So we are using 6 switches in order to change the tap from one position to another position. Then voltage change between taps is around 1% to 1.2% of the nominal voltage to avoid large disturbances at the load ends. So what it means? So as I told, the position. So as I told now previously, we have to, there will be a, because of the voltage difference, current will be flown from S1 to S2. So because of this voltage change between two taps, either between one tap, two tap, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, anything. So this voltage difference between the taps should be around 1 to 1.25% of the nominal voltage. So if you are applying 220 volts, or so just example. So normally at the tap position, the transformers will be of high voltage ranges. So just I am considering for the example purpose, just like condition, take it as an ideal condition. So if you are applying a 200 volt, so if you are applying the 200 volt, then at that time the voltage difference between the any two taps should be 1% to 1.25% of the 200. So 1% is nothing but your 4 volts. So 4 to 5 volts should be maintained between the two positions, between the two taps. So this will be, because of this what happens, this avoids any large disturbances at the load ends. So you can't straight away just go and tap the positions. If you are just blindly tap the position, what happens? The load ends will be heavily disturbed. So that may leads into a collapse of the grid sometimes. So sudden variations in the loads, sudden variations in the sudden fluctuations in the voltage or current leads to collapse of the grid, leads to blackout. So that's why we have to always keep in our mind to protect the circuits. So protection of circuit is nothing but protection of our sending end or protection of our receiving end. So that's why we are using line drop compensators. That's called as LDC. So this allows for the voltage drops along the feeder to the load point. So because of the usage of LDC, so this LDC, so it is necessary to use LDC. So for tighter regulations of the transmission voltages. So if you are go for the transmission line of voltages, at that time we have to use line drop compensators. So these line drop compensators allows the voltage drops along the feeder to the load point, from feeder to the load point, so that the OLTs. So because of this usage of LDC, what happens? The on-load tap changes, OLDC, will works at the actual loads. Okay. So the compensation which is achieved by injecting the current proportional to the load current, so that will be derived from the CT, that is current transformers. So through the impedance ZC. So ZC is our impedance that is occurred at our circuit. So if you are going to compensate by injecting the current, so when you are going to inject the current, when there is a requirement of reactive power. So when there is a requirement of reactive power, you have to inject the leading current. So if you are just injecting the leading current, so because of the impedance, there may be a lagging balance. So that lagging will be balanced by this leading current. So if you are going to balance the voltage, then at that time you have to inject the current, so which is proportional to the current, so that we observed in our CT. Okay, so CT and PT. So CT PT will be used mainly for the purpose of measurement, nothing more. So they don't step up or step down any kind of voltage levels. So just like our voltmeter or our ammeter, we are using CTs and PTs in the Hughes ratings. So there in the CT we observed one value of current. So that current, so which we are actually required to inject, so that will be injected through the tap chambers. tap changing transformers. So the next step, the voltage drops. The voltage drops across the impedance of the capacitor, ZC. So this is ZC. The voltage drop across ZC is combined with the voltage which is controlled to obtain the actual load values, actual load voltage. So actual voltage will be there, actual load voltage will be there, and that voltage should be balanced with the ZC. The voltage drops across your impedance. So voltage drop across impedance, that will be combined with the voltage. So that we want to control to obtain the actual load voltage. So this is the concept. So first we have to measure the current and measure the voltage drops, and combine the voltage drops that we witnessed at the load side and also at the ZC. Combine those voltages so in order to control the actual load voltage and inject the required amount of lagging current or leading current. So just by injecting the leading current or lagging current, we can balance the leading component or lagging component of our particular status, so a particular circuit. So because of this balancing of leading current or lagging current, by injecting, we can control the voltage. So because of the controlling of voltage by lagging or leading, we can control the reactive power. That's the concept. Circuit is there, I think. So this is our OLTDC with LDC. Online tap changers with line drop compensator. This is the actual concept. So here tap changing will be there, the PTCTs will be there. So as I told now, the actual voltage V and the voltage that is observed through the ZC, that difference. So that is the CT will be there, the PT will be there. So from there we can actually measure our actual current and actual voltages. So by measuring this point, so this line drop compensator. So this line drop compensator, voltage drops along the feeder, and the next thing is IC, the current, injecting current, IC, and voltage difference, voltage drops, that is V minus VC, that we can observe by that, and this total OLTC operation. So the total OLTC operation is mechanism, and a motor is used to control the switching operations. Just like I have mentioned now, switching operations, that is S1, S2, TS1, TS2, and vacuum switch. So in order to operate this, we can use motor also. So, and also one more thing, the OLTC. So it should be operated around 18 steps. So from +2 to -16. So this is the thing. So CT will be there. So from the CT we will measure the actual current. So by measuring that actual current in the load side, so LDC will be there. So this LDC injects the required amount of current. So that current will be supplied by the tap changers. So this is our tap changing transformers. So normally you can see 132 bar 11 kV. If you are using the distribution side of transformers, you can see 132 bar 11 kV. At the distribution transformers, you can see 132 bar 11 kV. So 132 will be your primary side, that is HV winding. So HV winding at 132 kV, we will be having tap changers. So these tap changers, that is S1, S2 position switches. So those will be controlled by your motors. Okay. So this motor control, the signal to this motor control will be sent by our LDC. LDC is our ZC. So LDC will give the signal into our system by measuring the voltage difference between V and VC. So this VC is the voltage that is measured across the ZC components, and V is our actual voltage So actual voltage that we can say that is 11 kV. It is there. So that is our 11 kV. You can observe. Okay. So this is our complete operation by using OLTC and LDC. Okay. So this is one more equivalent circuit. So this is our circuit for single phase equivalent. So this is our single phase equivalent of a line with two tap changing transformers. So one transformer will be, this is the one transformer and this is one more transformers. So as I told, the position of the taps will be always connected at the HV side. So this is our HV side. So one set of the transformers are connected like this. Just like you can consider this as our transmission system, step-up transformer. Just consider this as a step-up transformer or source transformers. This is at the sending end transformers. This is at the receiving end transformers. Okay. So these transformers will be having a transformer of impedance, that is R plus JX. So Vs is the voltage that is observed at the sending end voltage of tap changing transformers, and Vr is the receiving end voltage that is observed at the receiving side transformer, receiving side tap changing transformer. Okay. So this is the transfer switch, position switch. So from one position to another position, so that we can change by making the difference in voltages between V1 and Vs. So this V1 is just like V. So VC ante enidiyala, that is V. So V1 is our actual voltage and VC is our Vs. So this is our standalone. This is our standalone, and this is our connected with the load, connected with the actual load system. Okay. So here the thing is 8.9. So delta V. So this is the, we have to measure the change in the voltage. So that will be given by delta V. Here I have mentioned. So the taps. So these taps may be provided on the transformer at both the ends of the line. So that we have witnessed. So this is the one kind of a tap changer, and this is a kind of tap changer. And TS and TR. So these are the off nominal tap ratios. Here, TS and TR. TS and TR are our off nominal tap ratios. Off nominal tap ratios of the sending end and receiving end transformers. Okay. So T is the ratio of the nominal. So V1 and V2 are the nominal voltages. So Vs. So Vs will be given by Ts into V1, and Vr will be given by Tr into V2. So Vs. So this Vs will be given by Ts into V1. So Vs is equals to Ts into V1, and Vr is equals to Tr into V2. So Ts and Tr are our off nominal tap changing ratios. Okay. And here the tap position Ts and Tr are adjusted to compensate for line drop. The line drop is nothing but voltage drop. The V1 voltage drop and V2 voltage drops. So depending upon the voltage drop, the Ts and Tr will be adjusted. And the reactive power flow. So the reactive power flow total in the circuit, that will be given by Q is equals to T of 1 minus T into V2 by X. So what is T? So T is our ratio of nominal ratios. So T is the nominal ratio. T is our nominal ratio. Okay, so Q. So Q is equals to T of 1 minus T into V square by X. Not V2, V square. So V square by X. So what is V square here? So V1 and V2 are our voltages. V1 and V2 are our sending end voltage and receiving end voltages. So by using that QT, so T is less than 1. So that nominal ratio T, if T is less than 1, then at that time the reactive power or VAR flow is from sending end to receiving end. So if it is required, the load is required our reactive power, at that time T should be less than 1. So what is meant by T? T is the nominal ratio. 2 is the nominal ratio. So if it is less than 1, then reactive power will be sent from sending end to receiving end. And similarly, if T is greater than 1, at that time Q is negative. Negative is nothing but reactive power is drawing into our circuit. That is from receiving end to sending end. So by using suitable tap adjustments, we can inject the Q. So Q is our reactive power. Q is our reactive power. So Q is given by T into 1 minus T into V square by X. So that should be equals to T of 1 minus T seconds. Okay. So T, so we can control the flow of reactive power into the circuit, or we can absorb the reactive power from receiving end to sending end by using suitable tap changes. So suitable tap adjustments. So this will be done by using our T. So how? That is by using TS and TR. So TS and TR are our nominal tap changing ratios. So that will be dependent upon T, and by using suitable tap positions, we can control reactive power injection into our circuit. Okay. So this is the end of tap changing transformers. We can study the remaining thing in our next session. So artha aitala tap changing positions, tap changing transformers. So tap changing transformer by using suitable positions, by using suitable change of tap changes, we can inject the reactive power. We can inject the reactive power by using this form, V square by X. So T of 1 minus T into V square by X. So T is our nominal ratios, the tap changing nominal ratios, V square is our voltage, and X is our impedance in the circuit. So that we can calculate it by using T of 1 minus T seconds.